day. My name is Praise Fowowe, and I'm so excited to be coming to you at this time of the year. It's that time of the year that people are moving into the new year. So for some of us, we're still in 2022. Some have moved to 2023 already. Well, depending on whatever time zone you're in, I know you want to catch up with this particular video because it's instructive that I share this at this point in time. I know that there's going to be a lot of prophecies. People are going to say all kinds of things, and you are going to be waiting for a word from the Lord. There is nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, if you believe in hearing from God, go ahead and hear what God has to say to you. But before you do that, what did you do with what was said to you last year? Or what have you done with what you felt you heard in the last 1 year? If you have not done anything that is reasonable or measurable what you heard, you might want to review a few things as you move into 2023. Now, I am aware that people will scare you. They will say all kinds of things. And you're likely going to run into 2023 with a frenzy of fear. Well, I have got good news for you. See, the best way to predict your future is to create it. So there are people who live in all the clime, who live in all the places, who don't believe half of what you believe. But what they've consistently done with their lives is to create life of their dreams and to create the future that promotes their wellness. And that's why I have come to say to you that 2023, it's an amazing year. And if you've been in my goal scoring class, you would by now be aware that I already told people is the first of the next 10 years of your life. And so there is no point being in a hurry or put yourself under undue pressure. For someone who has worked a lot last year, built all kinds of network, done all the background work, if it's declared that it's a year of harvest for the person, you can be sure the person is prepared to harvest because the person has got the right sickle. But for you, one of the things you want to do this year for yourself is to name your year by yourself. I'm aware many of you belong to networks and communities. There's nothing wrong with that to have a corporate theme for the year. But you need to be able to look at your life and be true to yourself and ask yourself, what should my year look like in 2023? For example, if you cannot count 11 people in your life who you know are in your team for the year and they can bail you out of whatsoever crisis you are in, or they can position you to maximize your potential and position for opportunities. If you do not have those kind of people in your life, there is no point saying it's your year of harvest. It must be your year of building critical social networking. You need to be honest with yourself this year. I do not want you to make the same mistakes you've made in the last 5 years of your life, where you get excited, where you jump up, you jump down. By the time you can say Jack Robinson, the new year has ended again. As a matter of fact, there is nothing called the new year. New year happens when there's a new you. And that is why consistently we always say the most critical factor in the new year is you. Not anybody, not any word that is said to you, but what you are going to do with what you want for your life. The question is, what future do you want? I dare you to go ahead and create the future you want for your life. Now, there are about three things you need to pay attention to in the year 2023. It's an interesting year. And it's a year where you can literally recreate your life. It's a year where you have to be your own prophet, and you will never believe a prophecy that doesn't empower you. So wherever you find yourself, when there are signs of doom, of bad things that's going to happen, if you do not have bad or crisis or tragedy in your goals for the year, please move away from that kind of environment. Remember, it's your life, and you are the one creating the energy and the vibration around you. Whatever you permit on this earth, God is going to permit it in heaven. And whatever you say no to on planet earth, God is going to say no to it in heaven. What does that say to you? You are a co-creator with God. So three things you need to understand as you move into 2023. 2023 is a year that will produce a whole lot of vacuum in various sectors. Now, those vacuum is an invitation for someone to step up and take over. The world is going to be looking for leaders across various sectors, and the people will follow the person who behaves as if he knows exactly where he's going. Now, the person doesn't even have to know where he's going. Once he can step up, demonstrate a measure of confidence, the people will follow because the whole world is going to be agitated and they will begin to look for who to follow. So, whenever you find a vacuum in your sector, whatever you find a vacuum in your place of work, don't second guess yourself and say, I do not have the qualification. You need to step up to the plate and say, I am here. You will be like that man who was pushed into the pool that is full of crocodile. And by the time he's pushed in there, he needed to find a way to survive to get to the end of the pool. And when he got there, he now began to ask, who put me in? So the first word for 2023 is audacity. You have to be audacious. See, fortune favors the brave. The highest heaven belongs to the highest bidder. Everyone you read about are making demands on a daily basis. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all the names you want to be like are making demands on a daily basis. And the highest heaven belongs to the highest bidder. So it's not a year to excuse yourself and say, I am an introvert. No, it's a year to go for what you want against all odds. My father used to say to me, don't shoot for the star, shoot for the moon. If you can land among the moon, you will naturally land among the stars. So if your target for the year, financial target is $1 million, set $10 million. Shoot for $10 million. Naturally, by shooting for $10 million, you will naturally land among $1 million, $2 million thereabout. That is how distance works. So audacity. You have to believe in yourself more than anyone. It's not a year to wait and say, I'm waiting for people to believe in me. I'm waiting for people to give me endorsement. You do not need anyone's endorsement to become who you're supposed to be. They say one with God is a majority. Even those you think are not with God, there's a certain guy in Nigeria called Zazu. Zazu released a song this time last year. And of course, you may not approve with his way of life. I don't approve to his values, but that guy is indispensable in the nation, Nigeria, right now. That is how these things work. You need to sell and market your whatever is ignorance, or even if what you're selling is knowledge, with audacity. You have to believe, audacity to think, audacity to do, audacity to believe, audacity to activate, and audacity to receive. You have to activate the three critical keys to limitless possibilities: the power to ask, the power to knock, and the power to seek. Number two thing that you need to pay attention to in 2023 is flexibility. Now, what do I mean by flexibility? You have to understand that you will face situations and circumstances that may contradict what you have written. So you need to adapt. So, for example, there will be situations around you. They are always set up for the next thing you truly want. For example, you want to sell a course to someone, then someone shows up who necessarily couldn't afford that course. You need to activate the power of recognition to know whether you're supposed to put that person in CSR and allow him access to the course, because there is so much value in the person that can be unlocked by gifting the person that gift. So you must be flexible. Don't be rigid. There must be no plan that is cast in stone. Every plan must be flexible. And so some of you, you're going to be moving to new territories, new zones, new countries in the new year. So be flexible. Don't always say to yourself, this is what I've always believed. Let me tell you, the greatest enemies to the new move of God are the custodians of the old move of God. Not because they are wicked, but they've so much gotten accustomed to God and his behavior that they think God has become their TV and they have the remote control. But you see, there's a difference between what God is saying and what God has said. He told Peter, it's said in the Old Testament, do not eat this, do not eat that. But the same God told Peter, arise, eat. And Peter said, no, I cannot eat what is unclean. And he said, do not call unclean what I've called clean. There were many things that people used to call unclean that is now going to become clean in 2023. So be very flexible. God can activate anyone in your direction. And you must not look down on them on the basis of religion, gender, race, or ethnicity. You must be very, very flexible. As a matter of fact, I dare say to you that your breakthrough is in your flexibility in 2023. Now you can hold me to every word I'm saying to you. And number 3 is modeling. What does modeling mean? See, there is no mystery on this planet. If you can activate your capacity to see and observe and interpret, the person who is likely going to be blind is the person who claims he's a servant of God. What does that mean when it comes to modeling? Any kind of success that you want, all you need to do is find someone who is living that life. Go and find what they believe. Go and find their routines and ritual, which is their behavior. Then if you can believe as they believe, if you can act as they act, you will naturally produce the result. That result is an effect of a certain kind of belief and a certain kind of behavior. Jesus says, he that believes as I believe and can think my thoughts, the works I do, he will do, and greater works shall he do. So if you can find anyone you want to be like, go read their books, listen to their videos, study how they do things, right? You can actually copy, but you have to copyright and adapt. So you need to activate modeling. Many of you, your secret to your breakthrough is in the hand of someone you detest. You need to humble yourself. For example, I have learned from the good, the bad, and the ugly. Learn from all kinds of people, from all walks of life. They don't even have to share the values I believe in, but what I need is in their hand. So I suspend what I believe about my values and I go under them to learn what I learn. Because when I learn what I've learned, when I learn what I needed to learn, by the time I come to my world, I activate it and it works for me. So God is going to be activating all kinds of people your way. You must be able to see them and don't be cynical. I have learned in life that whenever you want something, God will do it for someone around you to test your reaction. If your response is to be cynical, to say, who is this person? Then you move that level of breakthrough away from you. But if your response is gratitude for them, the fact that someone is doing something, and don't join the bandwagon who say, oh, they are using one power of the devil or blah, blah, blah. Every good and perfect gift come from God. The fact that it's happening for someone who doesn't share your beliefs doesn't mean it's the devil that is producing that level of breakthrough. It's actually God, because it's the God of all flesh. So go and learn. Humble yourself, model, think as they think, find their beliefs, find the actions they're taking, you replicate it, and you will produce the result. There is nothing to be afraid of wherever you are listening to me from, be it in Canada, or you're in the US like me, or you are in Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Botswana. I know there are people joining from New Zealand and from different parts of the world. The year is yours. You go create it. The easiest way to predict the future is to create it. Start from today. What tomorrow do you want to create? Go ahead, make it happen. And please, don't give room for beliefs of demon consciousness and somebody wants to kill you, somebody wants to kill you. Forget about that. Uninstall those kind of thinking from your radar this year. And please mind the energy around you. Every time you find yourself in a place where people are talking about things that contradict the kind of positive energy you want around you, please excuse yourself and go and get your headset and select your hair play and what kind of messages and songs and things you want around your life. Trust me, it's going to be your best year ever. There is nothing to be afraid of. You will land in December 2023 successfully, and you're going to look back at what I've shared today, that if you are audacious, if you're flexible, and if you activate the power of modeling, it's going to be, you will hit the roof and break through the roof and be limitless in your worldview. I can't wait to hear your testimonies. Please keep this video, share with your friends, listen to it over and over and over and over again. I tell you, it's going to be an amazing year for you. I want to appreciate all of you for being there for me all through the year. Thank you very much for those of you who bought my courses, for those of you who paid for my classes, for those of you who, paid for counseling session. I am totally appreciative of your gesture, right? Let's do it again, guys, next year, 2023, right? I'm always in your corner, urging you on. And I have the capacity to make you see what you're doing or to make you rethink what you've always thought you knew so that your life can be better. Trust me, every good coach will never point you at themselves. They point you to the greatness that resides in you. Any human being who points you at themselves and they weaken the capacity and the superpower within you does not mean well for you. Any that people are teaching you every now and then that does not release you to go and practicalize it and test your capacity and grow in knowledge, grow in wisdom, grow in your capacity to produce results by yourself, that system doesn't love you. So be a human being in 2023. Be human enough to make your choices, to take your decision. Let me tell you, if you fail, there is nothing called failure. Failure is simply a feedback of what you need to adjust to go again. I love you so much. I wish you all the best. Thank you so much on behalf of myself, my wife, my family, all our companies in Africa, UK, and North America. We say thank you very much. Don't worry, Asia, we're coming to you in 2023. I love you, celebrate, and I appreciate you. Have a fantastic 2023 and name your year by yourself. Call it whatever you want to call it, and make sure what you're calling it is peculiar to where you are and what you want. I celebrate you. My name remains Praise Forward. I know I'll be with people in Africa on the 2nd and the 3rd as I take them through their own goal scoring class. North American European class was off the hook. It was mind blowing. We are ready for Africa on the 2nd and the 3rd. Thank you very much. Have a fantastic 2023. I honor you and I celebrate you. Bye-bye.